guys, it's Sid here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different from what I usually do. I'm going to be drawing the Onceler from the Lorax movie, but in my art style. So if that sounds interesting to you, then please stay tuned and stick around. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? So basically, I know the Lorax movie is like really popular and lots of people have seen it, but I actually had never ever seen it until just recently, like a few months ago. I watched it for the first time back in March of 2025 because I was in the production of Seussical the Musical in February of 2025, and I watched both Horton Hears the Who and the Lorax for the first time after that. So that was pretty cool. Seussical is basically just like the musical version of all Dr. Seuss books combined into one, and it is actually my favorite musical. I'm a huge theater kid, but Seussical is like the one that I love the most because, first of all, it was the first show that I was ever in when I was a little itty bitty baby. When I was like 6 years old, I was an ensemble Who in Seussical. And then the next time that I did it, I was 13 years old and I was the Cat in the Hat. So it really just showed like my improvement as a young actor, rising up in the sort of rankings, you know, and being able to achieve my dreams and goals. And then the third time that I was in it, which was earlier this year, I was Mrs. Mayor of Whoville. So that's pretty cool, you know? I don't think very many people get to be in a show, especially the same show, 3 times. So that is incredibly interesting. But yeah, I basically watched the Lorax movie, and this is not a movie review like how I do sometimes, but I'll just include my thoughts and opinions because I think that's probably pretty important, you know. I honestly thought it was pretty good. Like, I heard lots of controversy about the Lorax movie. People thinking like it wasn't that great because they didn't change a lot about it by including the Onceler, and they changed the story a lot from the original story, like the story from the books, you know. But I honestly thought it was pretty okay because I know it has like a better environmental theme without all of the extra stuff added on top, but I feel like adding more layers just gives it more like depth and complexity, you know, and by adding like more characters and making it more of like a character-driven story, I feel like it makes it more relatable to audiences, you know? So yeah. So I definitely did enjoy the addition of the Onceler as a character. The Onceler was a character in the book, but he wasn't like as big of a character, or like you didn't really get to see as much of his like backstory and stuff. I think part of the controversy was that they made him like too sympathetic, you know, that like the villain who's supposed to represent capitalism and the destruction of the environment should not be a sympathetic character, but I think making them a sympathetic character just makes it more of a better story, you know. But that might just be my opinion. It might just be me as a little amateur writer who doesn't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, there's this huge thing I was learning about, which is the Onceler fandom. Apparently back when the movie first came out way long ago, people are like obsessed with this guy and like addicted to him, and I can see it, you know, because I mean I just find him so cute and adorable. Like, oh my freaking god. It's not like as intense now because it is like July at the time of me recording this, and I have simmered back down, but during March, like right after I watched this movie, I was like low-key obsessed, you know? He's just adorable in my opinion. Like, I love him so much. Oh my god. I could not get enough. I watched so many YouTube videos of just like edits of How Bad Can I Be? It's such a banger song though. It's like, how bad can I be? I'm just doing what comes naturally. How bad can I be? I'm just following my destiny.
How bad can I be? I'm just doing what comes naturally. How bad can I be? I'm just following my destiny.
It's just so cool, you know? Like, oh my gosh. I think it's a really cool song because, like, at the beginning, he starts off being like, I'm not bad, right? You know? Like,
bad? I'm not bad. I'm the good guy here. He just doesn't get it.
He doesn't think he's the villain. He is in denial, sort of. And he thinks that he's doing all the right things and he doesn't really see what's wrong, but then like towards the end of the song, he becomes more like playful, and he's like, oh, let me test the limits of like, how far can I go with this insanely destructive power of mine, you know?
How bad can I be? How bad could I possibly be? Let's see.
So I think it's just a really cool way to convey that. Another one of the things is like, the song used to be called Biggering, and it had like a different sort of message, but I honestly like both of them, you know? I think they're both pretty good songs, but if you have any opinions or thoughts, you can leave them in the comments down below. But yeah, the Onceler basically has two forms. I watched a video and it said this was because people wanted to ship the Onceler with himself, which is kind of a weird and cringe concept, but I'm not a part of that, so I don't know. But the first form of the Onceler is like when he's good before he becomes evil, and this is just him wearing his like gray business suit or something. He's from like the old-timey American West before the industrial era, so he looks sort of like that, like someone you see like on the Oregon Trail with like a big wagon, you know, and all that great stuff. And he basically just travels to the valley with his pickaxe and starts cutting down truffula trees and all that great stuff in order to make his need, because you know everyone needs a need. I think part of the reason why this character was so appealing is because like he is so relatable on like so many levels, you know? You might look on it on the surface and think like, oh, this guy's cutting down trees to make these scarves. Like, that's not relatable. I don't do that, you know? But I think especially for like artists and like creatives and people in that sphere of the internet, you know? And that's part of the reason why people latch on to him so hard, because like as a artist, you know, this guy basically has this invention, right? He's tried really, really hard to get people to buy it, but it's not necessarily because he wants money, at least not at first. It's more so just because he wants people to like enjoy his invention, you know, which I can relate to personally because, you know, I draw all this artwork, I post it on my YouTube channel, and I want people to see my videos and I want to get lots of views, but not just like for the sake of getting views, but more so just because I want people to see my art and to like have an emotional reaction to it, you know? So I feel like the Onceler is sort of a similar way with his need, you know? He wants people to see his need, he wants people to buy it, but not so much for the money at first, but just so that he can get that like reaction, you know, from them. So I think that's pretty relatable. I love the Onceler. I think his outfit's really cute, how it has like the stripes and the blue and the gray and the green gloves. Makes a nice little accent. And I think he looks pretty cool. I was kind of confused at first because like I feel like all the guys in this movie look like exactly the same. Not in terms of like body shape or size. I think they do a good job of that because, you know, this guy, people were calling him a gay twink earlier, but I mean, I think he looks cute. He is really tall and lanky and skinny and thin, but he's like a big beanstalk, you know? He's just adorable. And then the O'Hare guy, he's like really short and stubby. He's like literal, if Lord Farquaad and Edna had a baby, that would be the O'Hare guy. And then the main guy, I forgot what his name was. It's been so long since I watched the movie, but he's just sort of like an average Joe, you know? There's nothing really special about him. He's not like overly tall or like overly short. He's just like in the middle, you know? But I'm pretty sure all three of those guy characters, which are like the only main guy characters that are actually important to the story, I'm pretty sure all of them have like light skin and black hair, like literally. Even though their hairstyles sort of vary, the Onceler has sort of like a moppy hairstyle, and then the O'Hare has just like the down both sides, and then the kid just has like a shaggy haircut. Like, I think they all look so similar, bro. Like, what the heck? I genuinely thought the Onceler was like an older version of either like O'Hare or like the main kid. I didn't really know at first, so yeah, that was low-key kind of confusing. So I did some research earlier and I looked it up, and apparently there's a really popular fan theory that the Onceler is actually Ted's grandpa, and I don't really know if this is accurate because like I feel like the Onceler never really interacts with any females other than like his family. The only people he really interacts with are the Lorax and the animals, so unless it's like a Sweet Home Alabama situation, I don't really know. But I guess I was sort of kind of right. Like, I didn't know what the relationship was, but I knew that there was like a deeper connection there, you know? So it's pretty interesting. But anyways, once the Onceler becomes evil, he has an amazing costume change, just like all cool people do have. From Elsa's old raggedy princess outfit to her amazing, shining, glittering ice queen dress. It's just such a magical moment. This one sort of goes like unnoticed because it's like during the middle of the song, but I think it's a really cool outfit. Like, I love it so much. He looks so dapper wearing his amazing green suit. It looks amazing. He's such a slay, you know? I feel like I've seen this outfit somewhere before, but like I don't know where it would have been, you know? But if you know where this outfit is from or like what it's similar to, leave a comment down below. But anyways, I think it's just great because, you know, green is a great color for like greed, you know? His greed definitely develops as he becomes more like power hungry and more of like an evil business corporate overlord, you know? So that's definitely like escalating. I love how he has like the little truffula, the tiny itty bitty one, and he has it like in his pocket, you know? So it's always like close to his heart, but it's like a reminder of like where this all started off and like where it is now, you know? I also like how he has the big top hat, just like every big businessman, you know, and like every big political figure always has a top hat, like Abraham Lincoln, you know, Scrooge McDuck, the Monopoly Man, all of them, they all have their big top hats on. So he's going into that theme as well. And I kind of like how he has his like glasses on because I sort of made them transparent in my version. I don't know why, because I think the glasses kind of look bad. I feel like he might look better without the glasses. I might just make a version without the glasses before posting this online, but I think the glasses are cool in the movie because they sort of like make it to where you can't really see his eyes anymore. And in the original book version, people were talking about like how they didn't like how they made him more of a character that you could like see, because in the book version you couldn't really see him, and that made it more like a threat that could like apply to anyone, you know, and be more like general in terms of concept. But I did like how they made him more of a person, but in this adding of the glasses, you know, and like making it harder to see his eyes, he becomes like less of a person, you know? So as he becomes more evil, he like loses his humanity, if that makes sense. And I thought it was a really cool detail as well. But I think he's just such like a good relatable character, because I know it's not relatable to be like cutting down trees and destroying the environment, because like not everyone does that. I mean, indirectly by like buying wood and paper and stuff, then like yeah, sure you are, but not everyone's like going outside and like sawing down a tree. But we all can relate to the fact that like it started off small, you know, he wanted to sell his needs and all that great stuff, but then it escalated quickly, because I made a short about this. It's like once you get a taste of something, once you get a taste of like success, it's never enough after that point, you know? Like me and my writing and my drawing and all that great stuff, and my YouTube channel especially, it's like once I know that I can do something, I can't settle for anything less. It's like when I draw a picture, sometimes people draw like rough sketches and stuff, or like send it to me, or like things that are very like basic and simple, and like I could do that and it would probably save me so much time, because I spend so much time on all my drawings and stuff. Like most people spend like 1 or 2 hours, I spend like 3 or 4 hours on all my drawings, because I fully render and shade each and every one of them, and I make everything so intentional and purposeful and all that great stuff. And people are just like, Sydney, why don't you just like cut down on the workload and make it easier for yourself to do all this drawing and stuff? And I'm like, well, I can't do that because like I just know that I can do better. So I feel like if I don't achieve that level that I've set for myself, if I don't reach that standard, then it's just not enough, and it's never enough, you know? It's like that song from The Greatest Showman, Never Enough. But the Onceler, you know, like he's satisfied at first with what he has and his needs and stuff, but like once he starts selling needs, then he just knows that he has to sell more, because it's just like it always increases, you know, like exponentially. Your expectations for yourself, they just compound on top of each other, and it's like something that you can't really escape from. So I feel like that was really relatable. And yeah, but anyways, have the Onceler and the Greedler, as we call his green version, standing side by side right here. You can tell me which one you like more, which one is your favorite, and yeah, do you like the Lorax movie? What are your thoughts and opinions on it? Comment down below. And anyways, I hope you all guys all had an amazing time watching this video, and if you did, please make sure to like and subscribe, because it always helps me out so much when you do, and I really appreciate it. It helps to boost my YouTube channel into the algorithm so that more people like you can see my videos, which is always such an amazing thing, because I do love it when other artists in the community get to see my artwork, and my artwork gets to spread across the world. And yeah, it's also good for you if you like watching my videos, because it'll help you to stay tuned and get notified every single time that I post a new one, so you will never miss out on a single new video. I, unlike most other YouTubers, upload videos multiple times every single week and shorts multiple times every single day, so you'll never get bored, and I will always have something fun and interesting for you to watch. And yeah, if you want to your support from me a step further, then go click the links in the description box down below. This will take you to my other social media accounts, like my Instagram account, Pinterest account, Roblox account, NaNoWriMo account, Unveil account, Artfight account, and all of that great stuff. Basically, I have stuff where you can see my OCs, see more of my artwork, and even more cool benefits and side things. So yeah, if you're more of a foodie and if food is more up your alley, then you can go click on my Instagram Grubs account and check that one out. That is basically where I post all of my amazing food pics and all of that great stuff. So there's cool content posted up there about every week or so. And yeah, thank you to this person up here on screen for this amazing fan art. I don't know who it's going to be yet, but I always appreciate all of the fan art that I receive, and I'm always so glad and grateful for it. And yeah, anyways, I hope you all guys will have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Always remember that I love you, and goodbye, eat some more waffles, and peace out, Girl Scout.